Hi everybody, my name is Deja and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my 1-year BookTube Q&A. I'm super excited. I have been officially doing BookTube for 1 year. If you guys don't know, I actually had like a channel before, but I got rid of all the videos. Okay, they're gone. Nobody can look at them.
Know your fucking place, trash!
Because they are embarrassing. They are literally from like when I was probably 14 to maybe like 16 I had videos. Embarrassing. Trash, one might say. My hair was not curly, it was not red, I had different glasses, I didn't know how to do makeup like this. I dressed like an actual hobbit. It was a different time.
I don't know. Die kenne ich nicht.
But then I restarted my channel and I was thinking about it for a while, but I was trying to wait till like I was basically out of school. So yeah, the first video I posted was a June TBR for 2020, and it had the Make Your Myth Taker and Romanceathon readathons in it. And that's crazy because this year I'm actually host of Romanceathon. Way to come full circle, Deja. But I decided to do like a little Q&A to post exactly 1 year later. So to kind of commemorate the anniversary. I never thought this would take off like it did. I mean, obviously I was hoping it would, but I never expected to get this many friends because the first time I did it, I had no friends, no community, no nothing. And I never expected to get this many subscribers in this amount of time. It's absolutely crazy. So thank you guys so much for everything. It's just been amazing this past year. So moving on to the questions, I asked for questions on Twitter, which I got none. To be fair, I'm not even active on Twitter anymore, so didn't really expect it. But then I got a bunch on Instagram, the community tab on my YouTube, and I set up a curious cat in case people wanted to submit questions anonymously for some reason. So I divided this into 3 sections, basically BookTube related questions, bookish questions, and then just general life questions. So I'm going to actually start with the BookTube ones first because I feel like that's where the most tea is, okay? So the first question that I got was worst thing about BookTube from Carol_reads, and honestly the fact that it's so cliquey. And I feel like everybody says this, but it's so true. And it's like, it's not even that it's so bad like you want to be in a clique. It's like if you're not in a clique, you aren't participating in things the same way. You're not getting the same experience. Trust me, I was in a clique and I know it felt amazing when I was in it. It was great. I was like, oh my gosh, we're doing everything together. Like, this is so fun. I felt like I really had a community. But now I still have friends, obviously, but I'm not in like a clique. And I don't feel like I'm getting the same kind of community experience that I was getting. And I think that it's just, I understand people have like groups of friends and like that's fine. But it's so like this group of people always together, never with anybody else. And it's a little annoying sometimes, especially, as I said, if you're not in one, then I feel like you aren't really getting the same experience, which I feel like is sad, you know, like, I want everybody to have an amazing experience and feel welcome into the community, and sometimes the cliques really put people off. It's not really something that bothers me too much anymore, but I know when new people are coming into the community, it can really be a lot, and I don't like that. To also preface, I have actually been watching BookTube and been like at least like a viewer of the book community for about 7 years now, so I know a little bit about the book community. I'm not trying to say I'm an expert or like brag. I'm just saying like I've been around for a while, okay? Carol also asked, a booktuber you wish was your friend and a booktuber you wish you could fight. Alright, so a booktuber that I wish was my friend, obviously Kayla from Books and Lala. Like, Kayla is the queen. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but I love Kayla. And I've been watching her for a long time. Madison from Princess of Paperbacks, I've been in one live show with her, but I would love to be friends with her. Meg from Meg with Books, I would love to be friends with. And I know like we have like a similar editing style. Hers is definitely more advanced and different than mine, but they both have like memes, funny inserts. But I actually started that before I even saw her channel, so I didn't copy her. Okay, it was a good idea. Okay, I give her credit though. I think she did it first, but like I didn't see it. I didn't copy it on purpose. There are definitely booktubers that I had/have beef with. There's a lot of unresolved conflict in my booktube circle. Not in my circle, just my bubble, okay? Because they're not in my circle. But if you guys have been around since probably fall of last year, you'll know who it is. It's pretty obvious who it is. But I wouldn't say I would fight them. Like, I'm just like...
No. Well...
I would fight a lot of people though. Anyways, not on BookTube. I'm just like, I'm a pretty like... what's the word? Like, I'm one, aggressive, especially like I feel like on BookTube, this is like, you guys are getting the nice Deja, and I'm not saying that this is not me, but I like being here. I like talking to you guys, but in person, I don't like people. I don't like seeing people on the street. I don't like people running into me. I don't like talking to people. So I'm a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more standoffish, but I'm also like confrontational is the word. Like, if somebody does something to me, like, I will literally get in their face and I'd be like, and what about it? Okay?
I don't care about my haters, and if you want to fight me, then fight me.
It's the Scorpio sun. I don't know what else to say. Everybody's always like, not you, blaming everything on astrology. And it's like, but it's correct. So, like, how could I not? So I don't think I would fight them. Maybe if I saw them in person, I would. But because of, like, the internet, like, I'm not going to fight somebody over the internet. Like, that's so petty. But, like, we can go in person. That's fine. There's nobody that I would really fight seriously. But for funds, I would fight Molly from Mind of Molly because I bought them 13 back in the summer, and we were supposed to buddy read it, and we still haven't buddy read it.
So, like, what's up, Molly? What's up?
Are we gonna buddy read it, or are we gonna fight? Because this is the only two options. Literally only two. Then Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages asked, what's been your biggest lesson from a year on BookTube? And it is definitely to not beat myself up. That's something that I struggle with a lot. Like, when I don't post, I get really, like, stressed about it. I'm like, I need to post, I need to do this, I need to do that. Girl, you're busy. Even when I'm not busy, I kind of have to tell myself that. And even when I'm not busy, generally, when I'm not posting, it's because I'm going through it mentally. So I have to be kind and patient with myself and be like, okay, even though you're not busy, you have the time, you literally just don't have the mental capacity to be doing this right now. And nobody wants to see trash content. And if you make content right now, it's going to be trash. So, like, just don't. Just chill, relax, and do what you gotta do for yourself so then you can come back and make amazing content. You know, even though my content is not amazing, you know, you get the idea. Better content. Literary paper? But with an I, papier? I don't know if
That you could do so.
they asked, what's a genre you didn't like but BookTube changed your mind about? And this is sci-fi. Okay, hear me out. I used to love, like, dystopian and stuff, like that kind of sci-fi growing up. But I never really thought, like, I liked sci-fi. It wasn't really, like, high sci-fi. Like, I don't think that's for me. But when people would talk about, like, speculative and, like, sci-fi elements, like light sci-fi, I was like, like, but recently I've been reading a lot of, like, sci-fi in other genres, and I really, really, really liked it. Middle Game is kind of like magical sci-fi. Then The Echo Wife I loved, and there's like another example, but I'm blanking. My head empty, brain dead, okay? But I've been really, really liking, like, I've really been liking sci-fi in other genres and, like, more like speculative fiction. So I feel like that definitely was changed because of Stacks of Strange, which is a book club that I'm in, but this definitely helped me explore that more, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Then Avery from Avery Loves Books asked me, how has BookTube changed your life? BookTube has just brought so many people into my life that mean so much to me and are some of my closest friends, and I just love that so much. But besides just bringing that to me, I feel like I've discovered obviously so many new books and interests that I never thought I would. Like, I never knew that I was gonna be like a super big romance reader like that. I didn't know I liked sci-fi until BookTube, you know? So, and I feel like because of like the beef tea drama that I've had, I've learned a lot of lessons that have helped me improve and grow and be able to handle situations better in the future. And while that may not seem like a good thing, like, who wants BookTube tea? Like, it's literally books, but it really has helped shape me into becoming a better person. I feel like 2021 Deja is on another level. Okay, she's up here. I'm not trying to trash on 2020 Deja. And as I said, I have so many good friends and I'm so happy, and I just love being in the community. I feel like before, when I had my original channel, I was just there floating. I didn't really know anybody. I didn't have any friends. But now it's not even the amount of subscribers that I have. It's just like I have people I can talk to. I have people that care about what I have to say. I'm not just talking into the void, if that makes sense. And that means a lot, like, that I have people to talk about books with. Avery also asked, what are some of my favorite creators? And I'm literally, no, I'm not doing that in this video. I'm so sorry, Avery. But I think I need to make a separate video because I don't want to miss nobody. So I think I plan on doing this last year. I was going to go in and categorize some of my favorite booktubers into different categories, like what genre they mostly read, and then like recommend them to you guys. So I'm thinking maybe I'll still do that. We'll see. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. But I will talk about some other creators that I really like on YouTube who don't make bookish content. I made a little list, so I'm going to pull that up and look at that. I really like Allie from Allie Sim Escape. She used to have the channel Miss Dunn Reads. Love her content, and I've been really into watching sim videos lately, even Twitch streams about the Sims lately. I really love Pleasant Sims. She plays exclusively The Sims 2 for the most part, and that's the game that I played growing up, so like the nostalgia of hearing her like click around and do things just really hits for me. I also really love SimSab for sim videos. I think she's amazing. I recently started watching Neecxle. I don't know how to say that, but I really like her as well because she does like Sims 2, Sims 3, and Sims 4, so loving that. Besides Sims, I really like Evan and Caitlin. Literally subscribe to their Patreon. I adore their content. It's so good. I love it. Then I recently started watching the Dad Challenge podcast, who does commentary, and I really like his commentary. He's a little aggressive, but I like it. I really like Observe as well, and the person that runs that channel reacts to like true crime and also like YouTuber apologies and reads their body language because they're like a body language expert. They don't like that, but like they read people's body language to tell you if they're kind of telling the truth, if they're lying about something, if they're uncomfy, like what's going on. Obviously, I really like Bailey Sarian, and she is an amazing true crime YouTuber. I also really love Danielle Hallen. I think she's so underrated. Danielle Hallen is probably my favorite true crime YouTuber. Those are the ones that I'm going to talk about, but if you guys would like me to talk about more that I like, I would do that as well for you guys. I don't know if you guys are interested in that. I kind of have like an obscure YouTube watching. I've been on many different sites. I've been on gaming YouTube, I've been on makeup YouTube, I've been on BookTube, obviously, true crime, and just various different places. Sims, yeah, just all over the place because I've been watching YouTube since I was probably about 7. So I've been here for a long time. Someone asked, how do I promote my channel? That's from Rose Corona, and I think they said it's because like they've tried everything and they can't really do it. I feel like this is something that is really touchy for some people, but aesthetics is extremely important, and a lot of people don't talk about that. Sorry, the lighting changed, but people are often like, just use what you have, whatever, and that's true. Use what you have to try it out to see if you actually like it and want to stick with it. But once you do, I'm not saying you need to have a camera. Like, you could simply use your phone if it's good quality, but it needs to look aesthetically pleasing. You need to have good audio. You need to look pretty presentable in your videos. In my vlogs I don't, but I know some people literally like film like in their bed, which is fine, but you're not going to get the same kind of traction, and your thumbnails need to be good. Thumbnails are what people first see, so that's why I always, even for vlogs where I look crusty, I generally try to take a thumbnail like with a lot of makeup on, looking done, because that's what people like to see. You know, people want to click on pretty people, and I think everybody's pretty, but people generally don't want to click on someone sitting in a dark room. And I'm not saying you have to wear makeup to do BookTube, I'm not saying that at all, but you know, there's a difference between how you look when you're just roll out of bed versus you when you like get yourself together to go look presentable. And as I said, thumbnails are really important for that. And then also, I've noticed a lot of channels popping up lately where people are not actually in the video. They're just like using like whiteboards and like things like that, and it's on like the computer that they film it. And I think those are really not getting that much traction because people want to talk to other people. They want to see faces, you know? So I feel like that is something as well that can help some channels. It's like, if you want to have a channel that's going to grow, you need to be in your videos. I don't know how else to say it. It's just like, I'm not saying that you can't grow without being in your videos, but it's just less likely, especially for book videos, because of the type of video that they are. This is not like an art video or something like that. Another thing is getting involved in the community. So I'm in other things, especially like last year. You guys probably noticed I was in every single live show, every book live show. I was in it, basically. Like, I was just getting involved with people, trying to co-host readathons, being guests for book clubs, being actual like co-host for book clubs. I just really got involved with other people in a lot of different communities. I kind of really stepped my foot everywhere. Like a lot of the people that I'm friends with are not necessarily friends with each other. I'm not in like one small group. I'm like over here with like the people who read mostly thriller and horror, but then I'm also like in the high fantasy and then also like the romance community, and I try to like be friends with a lot of different people. That will bring more opportunities and get you exposed to different groups to get more subscribers. And so yeah, those are like the two main things that I recommend, is like making sure your videos and your thumbnails look good, also good titles. And if you guys look in my description, there's always a whole bunch of crap in there. A lot of it's really good, like resources and stuff, but something I started to do is at least putting the name of each book that I mentioned, because if somebody looks up blank, like Deja's Book World, blank, like the book, then they'll find that video because it has that book in the description. I used to link them. Now I don't link them because I'm lazy. Rose Corona also asked, do you have specific plans or goals for your channel? Honestly, no. I really did at the beginning of the year, but I want to find my niche. I feel like I don't have a niche type of video. You know, there's some people who are really known for their weekly reading vlogs. There are some people who are known for their like specialty secret TBR themed reading vlogs. There are some people who are known for like their TBR games. There's people who are known for different things, and I feel like I don't really have that. Maybe live shows or something, but I want a type of video that I'm more known for. Then someone asked, do you think you'll ever get tired of BookTube? And I'm not saying that I'm tired of BookTube right now. I honestly just talked about this on my Instagram. It's not that I'm necessarily tired of BookTube, but I feel like there's no connection, no community.
I said what I said, and always. I'm not changing on it, okay? I said what I said. It ain't changing over.
I have friends, but I feel like everybody, it's not even that necessarily people are doing more because the world is opening up, which is, it could be in part to that, but a lot of people I know are still doing what they were doing months ago. But it just feels like things are running out. I feel like everybody invested so much into BookTube last year because we had nothing else to do and live shows were a way for people to connect, and now those things are kind of coming a bit dry. They're a little bit overdone, and people don't really know what they want to watch, so people don't really know what they want to create, and so everybody's kind of taking a step back away from the community a little bit because we don't really know what we want. And it's just I don't know what I want to watch. I don't know what I want to create, and I feel like a lot of the people that I talk to, we've all been a little bit distant, and I feel like viewers especially are going back to normal, because even if I'm having like the same amount of people watching live show as I used to, I'll ask a question or something and like it won't be answered, you know, but it used to. So I feel like people are just either tired or I'm having different viewers than I normally do who are less responsive, and there's just less interaction overall. So that's what really drove me, you know, the community and the interaction and getting to talk to other people, and that's like my favorite part of books in general. Don't get me wrong, I love books. Trust me, I love books. But I don't think I'd be reading the way that I'm reading. I wouldn't have the same passion for books if I didn't have the book community. And I feel like it's coming a bit dry. So like my passion for books and my passion for BookTube is both down. Like if one goes down, the other one's gonna go down. If I'm in a reading slump, I'm not gonna want to make content. If I don't want to make content, I'm not really reading that much. They just go hand in hand for me personally. I'm not saying for everybody, but definitely for me. And so I'm not tired of BookTube. It's just been hard. Someone said, what would you do if someone bashed you in a video like really bad? I would just confront them about it, be like, hey, like, what was this about, whatever. I would try to do behind closed doors and not expose everybody, like everything out there. If they were just being trash, I would obviously speak about it, but I would just be like, oh, okay.
We all make choices, but that was a choice.
Pop off. Like, obviously they're going to be having some sort of issues in their own life where they have to take it out on other people, because trust me, if I do something wrong and people bash me for it, that's my own prerogative, okay? I made a mistake, I messed up, I need to be held accountable, but I don't plan on making any mistakes anytime soon, so they would just be bashing me for no reason. And so I would definitely talk to them about it, but then if they don't want to talk and they were just being terrible, I would just be like, this is what's up, okay? And then someone asked, what videos do you hate making but do it for the people? I honestly don't make content that I don't want to make, but I do want to start making more wrap-ups, which is something I don't. That was a goal that I had for the beginning of the year, was to make wrap-ups, and I tried. I filmed so many. They just never got to editing in time for me to feel like I should post them. So I just think this first quarter of the year, we're kind of just gonna let her go, okay? Let her slide. I may do like a little quarterly wrap up where I just talk about like stats and stuff like that, but besides that, I'm just gonna let her be. But wrap-ups is something that I do want to do, but I don't like doing it. So it wouldn't be for the people, it's more for myself. People don't really be asking me to do things. Like, I don't really make content that I don't want to make. So now is going to be moving on to bookish questions. So Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages asked, what book would you recommend to your worst enemy? And I would recommend Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I despise that book with a burning passion. It's the only book that I truly like hate.
Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
I read it for school, and I like a lot of the books that I read for school, so it's not the school factor. I just really didn't enjoy it. I read it sophomore year. My teacher hated it. Every English teacher that I knew hated it. Everybody in my class hated it. So hopefully they would also hate it and not enjoy their experience. But you know, maybe there are some people out there that like it. That's fine. But yeah, I just, I hate that book, so I would definitely, yeah. Haley from Pages of Haley asked, if you could only read one book or series for the rest of your life, what would you pick? And this is honestly so freaking difficult. Like, for what reason? Haley, I don't know. I really just don't. I don't have any idea.
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know? You don't know?
This is so, I don't want to say even an answer. But I think I might go with The House in the Cerulean Sea, because I feel like it could always make me happy whenever I was sad, and I just feel like it's so close to my heart that that's what I would pick. It's not like the most thrilling book, and it's not even in a series. I could have picked a whole series of books, but I feel like that one I would never get tired of. Daniel asked, what was the first book that really lit you on fire for reading? And honestly, there was not really like one specific book. I definitely went through book phases. So I read first, obviously, picture books. My parents would read to me all the time. I still have a whole stack of picture books right there that I look back on so nostalgically, and I love them so much. I had a whole bunch. I really liked If You Give a Pig a Pancake. I loved The Wild Things. Pinkalicious, Purplelicious. I had a whole bunch that I really liked. And then I definitely started moving into like chapter books. I loved Dork Diaries, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, those types of books. Really, I would go to the library, get chapter books almost every week. Oh, Geronimo Stilton too. Love those. Then I moved schools in 4th grade, and it kind of stopped reading. I read some Judy Blume books that year that I really liked, but that was for school. I didn't read on my free time that year. And then 2013, my friend was like, hey Deja, let's go see Catching Fire. So I was like, okay. And we went and we saw it, and I was like, okay. I'm gonna have to read the series, because I watched The Hunger Games that day, and then we went and saw Catching Fire. So I was like, oh. And then I found Divergent, became so obsessed with Divergent. Divergent was my thing. Then The Mortal Instruments, was also obsessed with that, but Divergent, I went through like a hard phase where I was really obsessed with Divergent. So maybe that, and then I found The Mortal Instruments, Vampire Academy. And I would really say like The Hunger Games, Divergent, The Immortal Instruments / Shadowhunter's World, and Vampire Academy were like the first books that I really read that like brought me to BookTube and like this same level of passion for books. Then she also asked, what's your favorite adaptation? I'm gonna go with something that I've never read, but My Hero Academia is a manga and an anime, and I love the anime, so I'm gonna choose that because I can't think of any more adaptations. So. Oh, I also really like Little Fires Everywhere, but I haven't even read the book, but I love the show. Someone asked, what is your favorite book of all time? And I don't have one. You guys could say The House in the Cerulean Sea, because I said that for that answer, but I don't think The House in the Cerulean Sea is my favorite. I just think that I would never get tired of it. I genuinely don't have a favorite because I'm indecisive for my literal Gemini moon, and I can't decide. Then they also asked favorite genre. I think right now romance and thrillers are my favorite, but I also go into fantasy and horror. I think my favorite subgenres of romance, because romance is so broad, is fantasy romance and dark romance, specifically mafia. Then someone asked, what bookish mythical creature do you wish actually existed? And I'm gonna go with vampires. And the reason that I'm gonna say vampires is because like I would want like cute vampires, not like Dracula. Like I would want like the Vampire Diaries vampires, because like I don't know, like they just be so you know, like they just be like that. And like this is gonna sound so weird. The neck biting does a little bit of something for me, okay? I don't know why. Please, I'm so sorry to whoever's watching this, because you definitely didn't need to know that, but like, I don't know, like, I like it, okay? Then someone asked, who is your favorite book boyfriend? Reese from the ACOTAR series or Hawk from the From Blood and Ash series? And then someone asked, would you ever consider making a book talk? I have a book talk. I just don't really make book TikToks. It's too much. It's too much for me. I just can't be doing it all. The last set of questions that I have, which is I think the biggest section, is random life questions. So Naomi from Naomi's Library asked me favorite comfort movie. And I really have a lot. I think most Pixar movies would really comfort me, like specifically The Incredibles or Ratatouille or Monsters, Inc. I really love those ones. Tangled as well, besides like children's movies that are nostalgic for me. Besides that, there's also all the Disney Channel original movies that I grew up with, like Sky High, High School Musical, Camp Rock. Those are always great. But besides all the children's movies, I would really say How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is like the rom-com that comforts me the most. I love that one. It's like one of the first ones I watch and I adore it. For horror, which I know is like weird, like why people like comforted by horror, Halloween is so nostalgic for me because that was the first horror movie that I ever saw. So that one for sure would definitely comfort me. Then like my favorite movies, I really like Joker, but I don't think that's comforting. I do really like that movie though. Carol, again from Carol T_Reads, asked food you would choose to eat on death row. Like, I think it would just depend on my mood that day because I'm so indecisive. Some days I really want pasta. Some days I really want potatoes. Some days I really want fast food. Some days I really want something homemade. So I think it would just depend on the day. But my mom does make this dish. She just started to make it. It's this pasta dish that has like this balsamic vinegar, like tomato thing that goes on top. I don't know how to describe it, with chicken. And it's so good. So right now I would choose that. But it would really depend on the day and the mood. But also, I would want a donut and a Coke. Not a Coke Zero. I know I'd be drinking Coke Zero. But if I'm on death row, baby, who cares? So give me like a full Coke, okay? And you know what? I want some chips and queso specifically from Chipotle too. I don't care what meal I have, but I want a donut, a normal Coke, and chips and queso from Chipotle. Plus the meal. Please and thanks. Oh, this section's actually smaller than I thought. But someone asked, what do you do for a living? I am a high school student. Well, as you're seeing this, I will be graduating on June 11th and I'll be done with high school. I'm so excited, so happy. You guys don't even understand. I mean, a lot of you guys probably have been there, but this year has just been a mess. I'm over senior year. I've been over it since March 2020. But yeah, that is it. And I am getting a job, but then I think my job might be switching. So I'm not gonna really talk about that, but I will have like a part-time job. And then I will be going to college in the fall, hopefully still having a part-time job. Basically, I'm either gonna be working at Barnes & Noble or Best Buy. It's a situation. So we'll see. And then hopefully I'll have that job through into college, and in college I will be going to NC State. I don't know if that's bad to put out on the internet, but like I feel like I'm post about like the school anyways, and it's a large school, so hopefully please don't kidnap me. And I'll be studying political science and criminology. Someone asked, what has someone borrowed and never given back? I lent my aunt, my Titi Wanda, a book. It was Stalking Jack the Ripper, and she never gave it back. And I gave it to her like 3-4 years ago, and she hasn't given it back. And I still want it back, and I'm extremely angry because I want it back. So Titi, if you're watching this, I still want my book back, please and thanks. Then someone said, where's your go-to restaurant for amazing food? I don't really eat at restaurants. I normally eat like home cooked food or fast food. Fast food, I have so many places that I love. I love Chipotle. Like I said, I do love Taco Bell. I love Chick-fil-A, and I know I'm not going to try and promote it. They're bad company, okay? But the food do be hitting good, okay? And then Charlie's is like what's it called? Like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich place. Really love them. Wow Bao, I really like. Oh, I really like this place near me that has sushi and ramen. So good. I guess I really like that. But then for restaurant, like chain restaurant, I really like Red Robin. That's like my favorite place, like my go-to. I also do like Cheesecake Factory, but I prefer Red Robin. And then I also really like Waffle House, which I know is like obscure, but I love Waffle House for breakfast food. Someone said, do you prefer coffee, tea, or hot chocolate? It depends on the day. I do like a really good chai, iced chai. I feel like that's my favorite, but I also do like coffee, iced coffee. Drink my drinks. Some tea I will drink hot, but I prefer most things iced. I don't like chocolate in general, so hot chocolate's a no for me. Someone said bananas versus apples. hate bananas, so I would choose an apple, but I would choose pineapple or grapes or oranges, but pineapple is my favorite fruit, so that's what I would probably choose. Someone said, what social stigma does society need to get over? There's literally so many. The patriarchy pisses me off, so definitely that. And then also another thing that bothers me about society, I guess it's not like a stigma, but like everything being so religious. I feel like this is like an America thing. Like, trust me, you want to express your religion, I'm so happy for you. Like, I want people to be able to have their religion, the things that make them happy. But I hate how everybody else shoving it down people's throats. You know, people are like, oh, I'm gonna do this because this is what God said, and that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what everybody else should do because that's what God said. But like, they don't believe in that, and like, I feel like people need to respect that. Just because you think something's right, you don't have to force that on somebody else because they believe something completely different. And I'm the type of person where I kind of believe everything is true. So like, I believe that everything's true for that person. So like, I don't know, like, I just don't think that there's like one universal law that we need to follow. So I feel like people just need to, like, you know, do religion for them and not force it on other people. And I feel like when they're making decisions, they need to try and think more towards everybody and not necessarily through such a religious lens. I think it's really trash. But obviously, as I said, the patriarchy pisses me off. It literally affects so many things, and so does racism, and we just need to cut it out. Also, ageism. Yes, and I feel like teenagers are not seen as intellectual or can do as many things, and that really makes me upset because I feel like that puts a lot of kids into a box where they feel like they don't even have the opportunity to reach their full potential. They don't have the opportunity to explore things, and they'll just be like, you know what? Okay, well then I'm gonna do this. And I feel like it's like a whole thing. And then also with teenagers, again, is like parents need to chill, okay? Because I feel like they just be like, my child needs to respect me and have a blind loyalness to me, and that's it, period. And I hate that because it's teaching children to like blindly follow authority and what people tell them, which is like a whole thing already with the government too. So like, I feel like we just need to like let kids, they're not back talking usually, they're just trying to express their thoughts and understand what you mean. So I feel like we just need to have more open communication, like, and parents need to stop being like, oh, it's about me. Like, you decided to have kids, okay? So you're gonna have to deal with what kids bring, all right? Then I have, which of your vices or bad habits would be the hardest to give up? Ooh, I feel like I don't really have vices. I just have like bad traits. Like, I can be aggressive. I have road rage a lot. I'm very like attention needy, so definitely things like that. I don't really have like bad habits. I take a lot of naps in the day sometimes, so that's not good. And I think procrastinating is probably the big one. I procrastinate in everything, literally in reading, BookTube, the things that I like, I procrastinate, and I hate that. So that's probably the biggest one. And the last thing is, what animal would be cutest if scaled down to the size of a cat? I genuinely really don't have an answer, but if you guys don't know, I love dinosaurs. I don't know too much about them, but I just like love dinosaurs. Like, if I see a piece of dinosaur clothing, I'm like, gimme, okay? So I would say T-Rex. I think it would be pretty cute. They're not alive, but I think it would be pretty adorable. Also, for some reason, orcas or whales are popping into my head, probably because they're so big, size down, to be like, cute little moment. So those are the questions that I had for my 1 year Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much to everybody who sent in questions, and thank you to everybody that subscribed, supported to me, talked to me, DM'd me, literally just viewed something of mine. I appreciate you so much, and I just am so grateful to be in this community and have my own little space. I'm so excited for this next year and what's to come. I genuinely don't know. I don't have too many plans, so I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen. But that's all that I have for this video. Again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.
You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, 'cause baby, I'm